Like, subscribe and watch the complete video till end. Remember, press the bell icon for latest updates and comment which brand startup story to cover. I hope you're done, so let's get started. Welcome to Brand Vanguard, where we uncover the real stories behind the biggest names in fashion, business, and success. In today's video, we dive into the fascinating story of Guccio Gucci, a man who went from a simple porter to the founder of one of the most recognized luxury brands in the world. Gucci didn't start with wealth, connections, or a prestigious fashion background. In fact, his beginnings were as humble as they come. But how did he manage to rise from a lowly worker to an international fashion icon? Stick around to find out, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how Guccio Gucci built an empire from the ground up, defying all odds, and what lessons we can take from his journey. The story begins in Florence, Italy, where Guccio Gucci was born in 1881 into a family of leather craftsmen. Life was far from glamorous, and young Gucci grew up in modest surroundings, where his father worked as a leather worker, producing saddles and harnesses. These weren't the elegant handbags or shoes we associate with Gucci today. Instead, they were practical items needed by local horse riders and farmers. Gucci spent his early years surrounded by the scent of leather and the sound of his father hammering away at his workbench. This experience gave him a deep appreciation for the art of leather craftsmanship, though at that time, he never imagined that he would one day create a luxury empire. The family's financial struggles were a reality that kept them tethered to practical, everyday concerns rather than dreams of future grandeur. But even as a young boy, Gucci had a keen eye for beauty, noticing the subtle artistry in his father's work. He often asked questions, wanting to understand how the finest leather was selected, treated, and molded into durable goods. He was eager to learn, but at the time, he didn't envision a future in the leather trade. Instead, like many young men of his time, he dreamed of something more. As Gucci entered his early 20s, he decided to venture beyond Florence, seeking new opportunities. His destination was London, a vibrant, cosmopolitan city filled with new experiences. He found a job as a porter at the Savoy Hotel, one of London's most prestigious luxury hotels at the time. This job, although humble, was the turning point that would ultimately lead Guccio Gucci to build his empire. At the Savoy, Guccio's responsibilities were menial, carrying luggage for the hotel's wealthy guests, from aristocrats to famous entertainers. Yet, this mundane task offered him a glimpse into a world of unparalleled wealth and refinement. The guests he served arrived with finely crafted luggage, made from the most exquisite materials, and their clothes were custom designed by the world's most revered fashion houses.
It was in these quiet moments, while lifting their suitcases and admiring their expensive garments, that Guccio began to develop his own ideas about quality, craftsmanship, and luxury. This job, though far from glamorous, was an education for Guccio. He became intimately familiar with the desires of the elite and the aesthetics of true luxury. He observed how the wealthy preferred products that were not only functional but also beautiful and exclusive. This experience planted the seed for his own luxury leather goods brand. After several years working in London, Guccio returned to Florence in the early 1900s. Armed with knowledge of high society's tastes, he had a vision. He convinced his family to elevate their leatherwork from producing basic saddles to creating high-end leather goods like suitcases, bags, and other accessories. His dream was to combine the fine craftsmanship he learned in his father's workshop with the sophisticated style he had seen at the Savoy. In 1921, Guccio opened his first small shop on Via della Vigna Nuova in Florence. The store initially offered leather goods that catered to a wealthy clientele, including handcrafted luggage, shoes, and handbags. Guccio was committed to using only the finest materials, ensuring that each product reflected the highest standards of quality and artistry. Despite the challenges of running a business, the early years of Gucci saw moderate success. Florence's aristocracy and wealthy tourists started to take notice of the brand, intrigued by the combination of craftsmanship and luxury that Guccio offered. However, success didn't come overnight. It took years of perseverance, and Guccio had to fight to establish his name in the competitive world of luxury goods. During the 1920s and 1932, the global economy was in turmoil, and Italy was no exception. The aftermath of World War I and the looming shadow of World War II presented numerous challenges for entrepreneurs, particularly those in the luxury goods sector. In a time of scarcity and economic hardship, few people had the disposable income to spend on luxury items. For Guccio, this period was marked by a relentless commitment to his craft. He refused to compromise on the quality of his products, even if it meant slower growth. The brand's reputation was built on this unwavering dedication to excellence. In a world where most businesses were cutting costs, Guccio doubled down on his investment in the finest materials and craftsmanship. Despite the economic struggles, Guccio managed to keep his business afloat by adapting to the times. During World War II, leather became scarce, forcing him to innovate. This led to the creation of one of the brand's most iconic products, the bamboo-handled bag. This innovative design, which used burnished bamboo instead of leather for the handles, became a symbol of Gucci's ingenuity and ability to adapt in times of crisis.
By the end of the 1930s, Gucci had established a loyal clientele in Florence. Wealthy Italian aristocrats, foreign tourists, and movie stars began frequenting the shop, drawn to the brand's unique combination of traditional Italian craftsmanship and modern cosmopolitan design. The success in Florence inspired Gucci to expand his operations. In 1938, Gucci opened a second store in Rome, marking the beginning of the brand's expansion beyond Florence. The Roman store attracted an even broader clientele, including international travelers and movie stars visiting the city. The store's location in the heart of Rome's fashion district helped cement Gucci's status as a premier luxury brand. Guccio's sons Aldo, Vasco, and Rodolfo joined the business during this time, each bringing their own vision and ambition to the company. Aldo, in particular, had a keen eye for expansion and saw potential for Gucci to become a global brand. Under his influence, the company began to explore opportunities in international markets, particularly in the United States. In the aftermath of World War II, the global economy began to recover, and the demand for luxury goods surged. For Gucci, this was a turning point. As the world opened up to new opportunities, so did the brand. The post-war boom brought an influx of wealth, and the elite wanted to flaunt their status with exclusive luxury items. In 1953, Gucci opened its first store in New York City, a significant milestone in the brand's history. The New York store was a strategic move that helped Gucci tap into the lucrative American market. Hollywood stars like Elizabeth Taylor and Audrey Hepburn were soon spotted with Gucci bags, and the brand quickly gained a reputation as a symbol of wealth and sophistication. This period also saw the introduction of some of Gucci's most iconic designs, including the horsebit loafer and the double G logo. These designs became synonymous with the brand and remain integral to its identity even today. As Gucci continued to expand in the 1950s and 1960 seconds, it became a favorite among Hollywood stars and European royalty. The brand's association with the rich and famous helped elevate its status, and owning a Gucci product became a symbol of success and exclusivity. Gucci, now in his 70s, watched as his once humble family business transformed into a global empire. While his sons were taking on more leadership roles, Gucci remained the heart and soul of the company. He was proud of how far the brand had come, but he never lost sight of the values that had guided him from the beginning: quality, craftsmanship, and a commitment to creating products that stood the test of time.
In 1953, the same year that Gucci opened its New York store, Guccio Gucci passed away at the age of 72. His death marked the end of an era, but it also set the stage for the next chapter in Gucci's history. Guccio's sons, particularly Aldo, continued to build on their father's legacy, expanding the brand even further and solidifying its place as one of the world's leading luxury fashion houses. Although Guccio did not live to see the full extent of his brand's global success, his influence remained at the core of the company. His commitment to quality and innovation laid the foundation for Gucci's enduring success, and his name would forever be associated with luxury, elegance, and sophistication. After Guccio's death, his sons continued to expand the brand. In the 1960s, Gucci opened stores in Paris, London, and Tokyo, further solidifying its global presence. The brand was no longer just an Italian luxury label, it was an international phenomenon. The iconic GG logo, created in honor of Guccio, became a symbol of status and luxury across the globe. By the 1970s, Gucci was one of the most recognizable luxury brands in the world, known for its timeless designs, impeccable craftsmanship, and association with the elite. Despite Gucci's global success, behind the scenes, the Gucci family was facing internal strife. After Guccio Gucci's death, control of the company fell to his three sons Aldo, Rodolfo, and Vasco. Initially, this worked well as they expanded the business internationally. However, as time went on, internal power struggles emerged, particularly between Aldo and Rodolfo. The brand's rapid expansion led to tensions between the brothers regarding how the company should be run. Aldo, who had played a pivotal role in the brand's international growth, was focused on further expansion, while Rodolfo was more conservative in his approach, wanting to preserve the family's traditional values. Their disagreements grew deeper, leading to a fractured family dynamic. In the 1980s, this tension spilled over into legal battles, with Aldo eventually being convicted of tax evasion and sentenced to prison. This scandal tarnished the brand's reputation and marked the beginning of a period of decline for Gucci. In the 1980s, Rodolfo's son, Maurizio Gucci, took control of the company after his father's death. Maurizio had a vision of modernizing Gucci and taking it into a new era of high fashion. However, his tenure was marked by mismanagement, and the company began to lose its way. Profits plummeted, and the brand's once stellar reputation started to falter. Under Maurizio's leadership, Gucci made some bold moves, such as hiring Don Mello, a renowned fashion executive, to help rejuvenate the brand. However, despite these efforts, Gucci's internal family feuds and financial mismanagement continued to plague the company. By the mid-1990s, Gucci was on the verge of bankruptcy, and Maurizio was forced to sell the family's remaining stake in the company.
In 1993, after years of infighting and financial troubles, the Gucci family was finally forced out of the company. Maurizio sold his remaining shares to the Bahrain-based investment group Investcorp, marking the end of the Gucci family's control over the brand that bore their name. This was a dramatic turning point in the brand's history, as it transitioned from a family-owned business to a publicly traded company. For many, this marked the end of an era. The once proud Gucci dynasty had lost control of the empire they had built from the ground up. However, while the family's reign had come to an end, Gucci's story was far from over. After the Gucci family's departure, the company was in dire straits. Enter Tom Ford, a then little-known American designer, and Domenico Di Sole, a sharp businessman. Together, they set out to revive the brand and bring it back to its former glory. Tom Ford, who became the creative director in 1994, completely transformed the brand's image. His bold, provocative designs caught the attention of the fashion world, and Gucci quickly regained its status as one of the most influential luxury brands. Ford's collections were sexy, glamorous, and daring everything that modern consumers craved. Domenico Di Sole, meanwhile, worked on restructuring the company's finances, implementing a new strategy that focused on exclusivity and high-end products. This one-two punch of creative genius and business acumen turned Gucci around, making it one of the most successful luxury brands of the late 1990s and early 2000s. Today, Gucci is one of the most recognized and coveted luxury brands in the world. The brand has expanded beyond leather goods to include everything from ready-to-wear clothing to accessories, fragrances, and home decor. Under the leadership of creative directors like Alessandro Michele, who took over in 2015, Gucci has continued to push the boundaries of fashion, blending its heritage with modern, avant-garde designs that resonate with younger audiences. The brand has also embraced digital innovation, becoming one of the first luxury brands to successfully navigate the world of e-commerce and social media. Gucci's bold campaigns, innovative runway shows, and collaborations with artists and designers have kept the brand at the forefront of the fashion industry. The story of Gucci is one of perseverance, vision, and innovation. From humble beginnings in a small leather workshop in Florence to becoming a global powerhouse, Gucci's rise is a testament to the power of craftsmanship and creativity. Although the Gucci family no longer owns the company, the legacy of Gucci Gucci lives on in every product that bears his name.
His commitment to quality and luxury continues to define the brand, even as it evolves to meet the demands of modern consumers. And while the Gucci family may have lost control of their empire, their name remains synonymous with elegance, sophistication, and timeless style. This is Brand Vanguard, and we're here to bring you the stories behind the brands that shape our world. Subscribe and join us for more incredible tales of entrepreneurial vision, innovation, and the power of dreams.